Hello, welcome to the course of Chakra Psychology. My name is Aliya Sultanbekova, and this is lesson number 0.1. Chakra Psychology is a combination of a chakra analysis, which has scientific name of chronological vector diagnostics and interpretations from psychology. This concept was created by my teacher, Asel Kopey. I'm her student. I've been studying chakra psychology since March 2023. I'm also currently studying to become a psychologist now. I started actually doing psychological work in 2019 using Master Kit technique. There was one program which helped to work with your limiting beliefs. That time I had received a certificate as a diagnostician of incorrect thinking programs. I conducted the psychological work on myself by my own using this Master Kit technique and also helped others to do it together. Then I studied Sutai. It's similar with the numerology. And after Sutai, I became interested more in chakras. Chakra psychology gave me deeper answers to my questions. If we talk about chakra psychology what is chakra psychology is? It's a combination and interrelation of two areas, chakra analysis and psychology by date of birth. Chakra psychology allows us to know our innate potential, our genetic predispositions, understand what to do with this potential, what tasks we may have, and learn what trials in life may be associated with these tasks according to karma. This is all hypothetical, not predictive. And chakra psychologists also give recommendations on what to do to live your karma in a positive way, to correct it in the past, to leave positive karma to your future descendants, and what life problems and diseases may appear if you leave your karma in a minus. What distinguishes chakra psychology from other areas of self-knowledge, such as astrology, numerology, is that there are no predictions and forecasts, none at all. Yes, there are concepts here such as periods of life, but here we don't give a prediction, but we give recommendations on what to do in order to live this period in a plus, positively, in order to live these tasks in a plus. And we also talk about what can happen if a person doesn't follow these recommendations, if he leaves these tasks in a minus. This course is created so that a person becomes the author of his life, so that he stops believing fortune tellers, all kinds of forecasters, relies on himself, believes in himself, takes responsibility for his life, and plus so that he can trust God. Why chakra psychology and not chakrology? Why do I do this? Why do I like it more? Not chakrology, not numerology, not astrology. In chakra psychology, firstly, I understood the interconnection of all this, and accordingly, I've got the motivation to do all these recommendations. It also has its own recommendations. When you understand the connection, the reason why to do it, then you do it more disciplined, and accordingly, of course, you will have the results. Then I started studying psychology also, and I understand now even more deeply what is said in chakra psychology. And I understand that all these specialists like astrologers, numerologists, all the knowledge that they give, they are really valuable, but they give it without knowledge of psychology, accordingly without knowledge of cause and effect relationships. And that is, I realized that working with mind has a very strong influence, and that's why it's also important in psychology, and that's why I like chakra psychology, where these two areas are combined. That is, you see your potential, your genetic predispositions, plus you understand cause and effect relationship. And psychology gives an explanation of cause and effect relationship. For example, if a girl, let's say, has a belief that all men cheat, then of course she will most likely meet a man who will cheat on her. So she needs to change this her belief. In chakra analysis, you can see a predisposition to what beliefs she may have. That is what she is inclined to believe in. In the chakra psychology course, I will also give the techniques and explanations on how to work on these tasks, how to work on all these predispositions, inclinations to this or that belief, and so on. But in addition to the fact that we work psychologically, the chakra analysis itself and these predispositions by date of birth are also important. Because I've done a lot of analysis by date of birth, and 90% of them were matching. Also, I want to say that I have studied a lot of different things like access bars, body-oriented therapy, master kit, sutai, chakra psychology, and now I'm studying, I'm getting an education of psychologist. And I want to say that all this I learned first of all for myself. I studied all this not only to help other people, but rather to myself, first of all, understand myself, my life. And psychology itself, which I'm studying now, helps me not to burn out. That is, to observe the psychological professional ethics of a psychologist, to be more careful both to myself, to my psyche during the consultation, and with the psyche of clients also. It helped me work with resistance, people's defenses, and I will also give all this in this course. Everything that I consider the most important during consultation for chakra psychologists. Now about the chakra analysis. In general, chakra analysis, which has the scientific name of chronological vector diagnostics, was discovered by scientists Bukhtoyarov and Stepanov. There are a number of other sciences also. Muhammad Siddiq discovered the code of positivity, the code of negativity, which is also in chakra analysis. All these numbers are in deeper, more ancient knowledge. This is a unification of everything that was revealed long ago. That is, it's about the energies of yin and yang, and about everything that is partially taken from some religions, and even feng shui and the Fibonacci number, which exists in nature. It's all interconnected. And where did this ancient knowledge come from? I suppose perhaps from some out-of-body travels when a person in a state of altered consciousness. That is, when the soul flies out of the body and travels and takes the knowledge from this universal library. Each school has interpreted these studies in its own way. There is also Elmira Mindabayeva, who lives in Kazakhstan, and she also works with this. She created the chakrology. And basically, also, she interprets it in her own way, but basically, her knowledge is also taken from the knowledge of these researchers, these scientists. And my teacher, Asel Kopey, she has created this chakra psychology, and the knowledge of Elmira Mendebaeva also gave her a good foundation, based on which she has already further created her own concept. My teacher, Asel Kopey, is a direct student of Alexander Alexandrovich Bukhtoyarov. He himself said that he, being a scientist, he learned all this knowledge in the chronological vector diagnostics, these numbers, precisely in a state of altered consciousness. You can say hypnosis. That is everything that gives access to this universal database, to the universal library. Even if we talk about other scientists, for example, Mendeleev, then he saw this periodic table in a dream. And he is a scientist, and now all people use this periodic table, this knowledge, and all this is proven. And he saw this knowledge in a dream. He took it from his dream. Now, regarding chakra psychology itself, chakra analysis, in the different concepts, the date of birth is used differently. Some take into account both the physical date of birth and the one, for example, indicated in the passport. It happens that sometimes this doesn't match, and they take into account both dates. But in chakra psychology, we rely only on the actual date of birth. That is, if the date of birth was changed, well, you can change it every week, and any passport officer can change it every week, and it will not affect on you. Therefore, we rely only on the actual date of birth, because it's when a person is born, that is, the planets rotate around themselves, around their axes, and also around the sun. And these degrees of direction, how the planets are directed in this millisecond and this moment of a person's birth, all this affects him. And therefore, it is the actual date of birth that is important. There is also such point that some people, for example, say that if there was a surgery, then it's not considered, that there should have been a certain date of birth, but because of the surgery, they did it later or earlier. But in chakra psychology, it's believed that no matter what the way of birth was, a surgery or natural birth, we rely on an actual date of birth. Even if it was a surgery, you can think that it is as if the human decided what the child will be born. But even if it was decided by the human, this thought were laid down by God. Therefore, it can still be said that the way of birth and what the way of birth and what day he will be born, he will be born, in what country, in what family, all this is decided by the Almighty. The soul doesn't decide this, and people don't decide it by themselves either. Now about the chakras. What are the chakras? These are energy centers that are in a human, in his body. There are 7 chakras in the body. If we talk about chakras, what are the chakras? This is an energy. Now the body. What is the body? That is, a person consists of 2 energies. This is tangible material energy, this is our body, which we can touch, feel, and intangible, this non-material body, it's called the energy body. There is a causal body, an astral body, and so on. Here are the 8th and 9th chakras. They are already in a non-energy body. And also there is up to 12. Some even study up to 12 chakra. That is, in total, two energies influence us. This is material and non-material energies. Non-material, we can say that this is a spiritual energy, divine energy. These 2 energies influence us. Spiritual, divine, cosmic, and the person is woven from these 2 energies. Material, physical, and non-material, spiritual, divine, cosmic energy. That is like yin yang. In general, everything in the world, if you look at it this way, is dual. There is a day and night, man and woman, black and white, good and bad, and all this is in each of us. This is duality. If we talk about yin yang energy, then yin is more material energy. A woman is responsible for material energy, feminine energy, and it's more material chakras are the lower chakras. It's heavier and more red colors. And yang is male energy, and it's more cosmic, non-material, spiritual, intangible, invisible. And according to the chakras, these are the upper chakras, and they are more blue colors. Well, that is, if we take even the chakras, the lower chakras are red, orange colors. The upper chakras are blue, purple. So it's more male energy. It's more spiritual, cosmic, divine. Female energy is more material, and if we compare it to God, then we can say that God is, if of the male gender, he is so divine. God is like a dad, and the earth is like a mother, matter. That is, it's like a mom. So that's why it's not for nothing that they say that women like pink, red colors, and this is more feminine color, and men like blue. And plus, women have such a sign as a triangle like this. Why? Because we take most of the energy from the earth. And it's not for nothing that they say that women are more material, more mercantile, more obsessed with material things. If, for example, a man doesn't have a woman next to him, he may not buy an apartment at all. If he buys an apartment, then only usually it happens if some woman tell him. It could be his mother, sister, or wife, but themselves, if there were no woman in the world at all, they would probably still live in a caves, I think, because basically a woman is responsible for nesting. Therefore, as it were, it's believed that women are more material. In general, material problems mainly worry women more than men. Therefore, women, they can be said that to be like engines in material progress. And therefore, we can say that in this way, a woman can motivate a man to earn more. And men, on the contrary, they get an upside down triangle. That is, the upper part is larger. Accordingly, they have more divine energy is taken from space. And even if we look at their body shape, then their upper body is mainly larger. Their hips are narrower than women's. Their shoulders are wider. And by chakras, if we talk about them, then from first to third chakras are more material chakras. That is, they are filled with material energy, and starting from 4 to 7, these are more spiritual chakras, more non-material, lighter. And the person consists of 2 parts, 2 components. This is the animal component, our material part. These are these lower energies. That is in the sense that we are material, that we need to eat, sleep, reproduce. That is, in this sense, we are no different from animals. And we humans have also non-material part, spiritual component. This is to develop ourselves, improve ourselves, work on ourselves, on our consciousness, improve ourselves, somehow think realize, reflect. But both of these components are very important. And it happens that sometimes if a person denies one of these parts, for example, denies the animal part in himself and wants to be only spiritual, almost an angel, like an angel, of course, he begins to have a conflict inside. From here, there can be depression, some stress, apathy, when a person forbids all this in himself, suppresses some of these material and physical desires. And these two energies, material and non-material, they are like a vortices, twisting the lower one in one direction, the upper one in the other direction. And in the third chakra, they both intertwine with each other. And therefore, the third chakra is an interweaving where these two energies meet, material and spiritual. What is the chakra? These are energy centers that are in our body. These energy centers, they both receive energy from the outside, like receivers, and emit, like Wi-Fi. And what we radiate is what we receive. If, for example, the energy of conviction comes from us, if we believe that all people cheat, then accordingly, that is what we receive in life. That's how it works. Plus, chakras are responsible for the general condition of a person, for his health, for some aspects of his life. How does psychosomatic works? First, we have it at the energy level. That is, we first emit some thoughts, some fears. And for example, there is a fear that a man will cheat on me. How can this affect a woman's health? A woman can think about it, and gradually, from this ethereal body, from the energy shell, all this passes into the physical body. That is, being convinced of this, a woman, let's say, is already married to a man, and they're planning to have children, but having this fear, her psyche can think that if I give a birth, then the man will still sooner or later cheat on me and he will leave me and I will be alone. And the brain thinks that it's better for us not to give a birth. And accordingly, the brain puts a block on the whole organism, not allowing it to relax, because reproduction occurs only in a relaxed state. Or from tension, hypertonicity of the uterus occurs and it's not possible to bear a child, etc. And therefore, this fear, it turns out, affects already at the level of physics. That is, fear physically blocks the body, and accordingly, these female diseases are related to diseases of the second chakra, and this fear of betrayal is also related psychologically to the second chakra. Accordingly, it physically malfunctions on the second chakra. That is, some female disease can begin in the second chakra, and this will not allow the body to get pregnant. Or if she gets pregnant, it will not allow the fetus to carry to term. For example, the uterus is weak, or it can lead to miscarriages and so on. That is, in this way, these fears affect our physics. And this is how psychosomatic disease occur. When it happens that you seem to be healthy and the doctors can't find the reason, but it doesn't work. Even the doctors say that there are diseases that are psychosomatic. This is how psychosomatic occurs. For example, someone might say that I got sick because I stayed under the rain and catch cold. That's true, but if you weren't depressed or sad, you wouldn't have gone out in the rain and stood there. You wouldn't have allowed yourself to catch cold in the rain. That's why psychosomatic influences in this way. And here we have already found the cause and effect relationship. Now, if you look at the chakras themselves, in the picture you will see that all the chakras are like natural colors, all those that exist in nature. And these are also the colors that we have on the rainbow. The rainbow consists of 7 colors. In the sum sequence, we have these colors of the chakras, also 7 colors, 7 chakras. That is, the first chakra is red, the second is orange, etc. And in some way, you can compare these chakras with the Maslow's pyramid also. The needs according to Maslow pyramids also coincide with the need according to the chakras. With the needs according to the chakras. At the lower chakras, they are from the first to the third, they are warmer. The upper chakras are colder. That is, as I already said, we have two energies. This is the earthly material, it's warmer, and the divine non-material, it's called energy, male. And we have 7 chakras in total. The lower the chakras, the more animal needs, and the higher the chakras, the more spiritual needs. And here again, we can compare with the Maslow's pyramid needs. The first 2 chakras, the first chakra, Muladhara, is located in the coccyx, and Svadhisthana, the second chakra, is located in the area below the navel. Together, they create a physical center, a physical contour. That is here on these very 2 lower chakras, we have the most basic needs. To eat, sleep, reproduce. In Maslow's pyramids, these needs also relate to basic needs. That is, here a person is focused on taking care of his health, on being alive, on feeling alive. This is the level of passions, everything that gives us energy to live, vital energy, to feel that I exist. That is, everything starts in order from the lower chakras. That's why they say that it's not for nothing that the health is the most important thing. That is, first we take care of our health, and then everything else. Next are the third and fourth chakras. The third is the level of the abdomen. The third chakra is called Manipura. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, Anahata, at the level of the heart. Together, they create an emotional volitional circuit, an emotional volitional center, or we can say a skills circuit. There are still, we can say, physical chakras, but not such coarse physical ones as the first and second chakras, not such animal needs. That is, here the needs is precisely of a social and emotional nature. That is the need for respect, for work, for money, for love. That's why it's said that the health is the most important thing, because when a person is sick, he has no power for work in the third chakra, and no energy for love on the fourth chakra. If he's sick or has not slept well, has not rested on enough on the first lower chakras, then again he will have no power for work, for love, for communication, for everything. That's why even all psychologists give such a recommendation that the most important thing, the very first thing you need to start with, is to start getting enough sleep and take care of your health. Go to the gym, do exercises, eat normally, go to the toilet on time, don't hold yourself for too long, and then all this will give you energy to work. There will be a desire to work, there will be time, energy to work, and also for love, communication, relationship, friends, etc. The lowest chakras are the foundation. Just like when we build a house, we first start with the foundation. The first chakra is the lowest, and we start with it. That is, it lies at the base. And if the foundation is weak, then everything else, the whole house, no matter how good it is, no matter how good the quality of the construction, it will still wobble, just like in the body. If the first chakras are out of order, if the first chakras are in imbalance, then all the others are also affected. And that's why it's important to first bring the first chakras into balance, to be well rested, to be well fed, to be healthy, to be rested on the first, second chakras, and then to go into realization. And then when you take responsibility for yourself in the third chakra, then only after you can take responsibility for the others, for your family, on the first chakras. And only after then you can have relationship, love, friendship, and so on the first chakra. The next is the fifth and sixth chakras. They relate to the intellectual philosophical content. The fifth chakra is the Shuddha, the blue in the throat area, and the sixth chakra is blue in the third eye area. The sixth chakra is called Ajna. Together they form an intellectual philosophical contour. These are already such higher needs. The need for self-realization, creativity. This is the realization of your desires, plans, ideas, your fantasies, your opinions. That is such higher desires, higher needs. And the last chakra in the body, this seventh chakra, is called Sahasrara. It's located in the crown area. It's also called the crown chakra. It's purple and it's not included in the calculation in the chakra analysis. That is, we cannot see the percentage on it, the potential, since the chakra is responsible for the psyche, for our subconscious. But it can be calculated. The seventh chakra is a connection with the cosmos, a connection with the God. And the more it's in balance, the stronger the connection with the cosmos, with the God, the more you are in balance in life. Listen more your intuition, avoid some troubles in life. And vice versa, if you leave this chakra in the minus, if it's in balance, the less connection with the God, connection with the cosmos, connection with the divine, the more troubles there may be in life. Or even if everything is good, you can feel such emptiness inside. All these chakras, they are all interconnected with each other. And if, for example, a person has some kind of illness, let's say tonsillitis is our throat. That is not only the throat chakra, the fifth vishuddha, is imbalanced, but also the first chakra, muladhara, the root chakra, red color, which is responsible for health generally. It means it's also in imbalance. That is, when a person is sick in any cause, the first chakra is also in imbalance, since it's responsible for health in general. Plus, you need to look at which other chakra is in imbalance with it, which is already responsible locally for the disease or for these organs. In chakra analysis, we will learn to see which chakra has what feeling by date of birth. That is, for example, the third chakra, Manipura, let's say, shows 75% feeling. So everything that is above 50% is considered a strong chakra, and everything that is below 50% is weak. But this is neither good nor bad. We will consider the advantages of strong chakra and disadvantages of strong chakra, and also advantages over weak chakra and disadvantages over weak chakra. How he can leave a strong chakra in the plus, how he can leave the strong chakra in the minus, what he is more inclined to, what character traits can be more dependent on this potential. For example, a person is more inclined to command, or on the contrary, more loyal. According to the date of birth, through the genetic potential, according to the chakras, we see this according to the chakras. To say that this genetic predisposition is the most important thing is probably impossible, because each person already more or less know himself, his character, and to say that it directly influences their lives in some way, perhaps this is not quite true. Rather than knowing your tasks, that is, knowing your karmic tasks has a greater influence in chakra analysis, which will help you understand what trials you may have your path in life, what troubles you may have, how you can avoid them, understanding the cause and effect relationship and of everything that happens in life, why something happened in my life one way or another, why everything went this way, why my circumstances turned out this way, why I needed it. Understanding all this is given by studying karmic tasks by date of birth. For example, if a person understands that, well, I'm an introvert, I like sports more, if he understands this about himself, then some of the circumstances that he has, divorces, loans constantly, working constantly fails, forced commerce or accidents often happen. And if a person thinks that this is by accident and he cannot explain why this happens, then in chakra psychology, with the help of karmic tasks, we can explain to ourselves, understand and explain to clients why this happens and in a person's life. See the cause and effect relationship, help him to realize the two. I'm talking about karmic tasks. They are also visible in our date of birth. That is what is karma in general. These are people who believe that everything in life is predetermined. That is, we don't decide anything at all. We don't influence anything at all. And you can not take responsibility, as if go with the flow. And there are people who, on the contrary, believe that everything depends on us, that we can decide absolutely everything, we influence absolutely everything. But in this regard, I agree with my teacher that the truth is somewhere in the middle, that there are the things that we influence, for which we are responsible, and there are the things that we cannot influence or and control. And accordingly, these things, they come from the outside as some circumstances. And this can serve as a lesson for us, for something that, so that we understand something. That is some such moments when something happens to us that we cannot control. The only thing we can do is to analyze what lesson should I learn from this now, so that this doesn't happen to me again and again. What we cannot influence is our genetic predisposition. As I already said, where we were born, how we were born, in what country and what day, what genetics, with what genetics. But what we can influence, what we can take responsibility for is what we can do with it, with this predisposition of ours, with these tasks that are given to us. What do we do with it? Do we just go with the floor, do nothing rather than we fight, hate it, or do we take responsibility, work on it, analyze, reflect, and learn from it, and find a resource in it and use it? Let's say a person has a family history of cheating, and accordingly you can see this in his date of birth, that in his family history everyone cheats. You see that he has a predisposition to cheating, to falling in love very fast. You can see this in his date of birth. Why do people have such karmic tasks? To put it simply, it's because he has these genetic tasks. This predisposition is simply passed on genetically from parents, and this simple inclination, if parents, grandmothers, grandfathers had it, it's still passed on to children through genes. That's why it's visible in genetics. Some that some karmic tasks have been passed on to us from parents. There you can even see which ones were passed from the family, which ones were passed during pregnancy, and which ones according to periods of life. There are tasks, and therefore, when they say in simple terms that everyone in his family is a cheater, even without knowing his date of birth, you can say that most likely he's also inclined to this. And if you know his date of birth but you don't know this person, then you can see it from the date of birth that this person has a tendency to cheat. But this is just an inclination. This is just what he is given, and here he is a little baby just born. You see that he's still little, but he is already very attractive. He shoots his eyes as if he's flirting, playing around. You can see from him that he's attractive. Everyone loves him, but the responsibility lies with him for what he will do with this predisposition when he grows up. The responsibility lies with him for what he will do with this genetic data. He will shoot his eyes only at his beloved wife and constantly flirt with her, and thus strengthen the marriage and bring this karma to the plus in this way. Or he will cast his eyes on different women and cheat and get divorced every 5 years, change woman. Thus he ends up living karma in the minus when he has repeating patterns in his life and he doesn't learn a lesson from this and doesn't understand what the matter is. What else you cannot influence is the final outcome. That is what day we will die, how many years exactly we will live, how we will die, from what disease. And this is not only about the death, it's also about everything. For example, the girl, she wants to get married, she does everything what depends on her. She takes responsibility, she works on herself, she goes to for dates, she communicating with the people, working with her confidence, goes to psychologist, analyzes her patterns, and this is what depends on her. But what exactly kind of man she will marry, how old exactly he will be, in which day exactly, what nationality exactly she will marry, and which specific day and which specific place she will meet him, we cannot know. So all the smallest details, 100% what the circumstances will be, what events will happen, we cannot know this. And God decides, looking at what we do, how we work on ourselves, he decides. In accordance with this, he creates some events, sends some circumstances that we need. Sometimes we seem to want one thing, but we don't really know what is really best for us. We may want one thing, but in reality, it would be better for us to do something else, to get something else. And only the Almighty who created us, only He knows, only He can know this. And therefore, He knows better which man would be the best for us, or which woman would be the best for men. And therefore, in this regard, all we can do is trust that we do everything that depends on us, and we learn to trust the rest, which we cannot control. Now, working with the table. I will send the table to those who will study the course, where you can see a person's chakra analysis. That is, you just enter the date of birth without dashes, without dots. Let's say my date of birth is 4th of October 1991. You will just enter 04/10/1991, full date, not short, like just 91. You don't need to calculate anything manually. The table calculates everything automatically. And all the formulas are already entered. You don't have to change anything, you just have to enter the date of birth. That's it. This table shows the filling of the chakras. What percentage is on each chakra? It shows karmic task, for which chakras there are karmic tasks. There are for life and for the whole life and in some of periods of life. After you entered your date of birth, the date of birth, now you can see under the date, it says personality potential. This is what we talked about. Also under the personality potential, it says there are 3 blocks, red, green, and blue. And each block name, this is what I already said. This is physical contour and emotional volitional contour and intellectual philosophical contour. And in each block, there are 2 chakras. That is the first block, the red one, it has the first and second chakras. And green block is the third and fourth chakras, and the blue block is the fifth and sixth chakras. Now you can see my personality potential. The chakra indicator in percentage according to my date of birth. That is, if you look at the red block, 3355, it means that 33 is the feeling of the first chakra Muladhara, 33% of my first chakra. For me, for everyone else, it will be different. 55, it's 55% is the feeling of my second chakra Svadhisthana. Then the green block, 44, 52. So 44 is my third chakra Manipura. 32% is the feeling of my fourth chakra Anahata. Then 29 and 82 in the blue column, in the blue block, 29 is the feeling of my fifth chakra Vishuddha, and 82% is the feeling of my sixth chakra Ajna. The seventh chakra is not visible in the chakra analysis, that is, it's not shown in percentages. Further, right under the numbers, you can see the description. Let's say for someone it's written sensitive, choleric, melancholic, phlegmatic, harmonious, artistic contour, but for everyone it's also different, depending on the ratio of these pairs of chakras. I will give this entire transcript further in this course, in next lessons. The most important thing is that before you open the table, you will need to download the Excel application to your phone, and then you can open it easily. Further in the table, you will see yin yang. There is male and female, also written there in numbers. We can ignore this. In this course, we will not consider this lower part of the table because male and female are shown differently by date of birth everywhere, and it's not clear what to do with this. It doesn't particularly affect life. What influences us most is working on ourselves, on our thinking, on our tasks, karmic tasks. These karmic tasks can be seen on the same level as the date of birth. Also, below there is I want and I can. Sexual potential, we will not talk about it also in this course. It doesn't influence to us a lot, therefore we don't pay attention to it on the course. Basically, we have an emphasis on potential, chakra indicators in percentage, and karmic tasks. So now we can go back up on the table. You will see the very first column there, the purple column, which is closest to the date of birth. There is the top number, the bottom number, and in the middle. In the middle, we call it typology. We will come back to it later, but for now, we will talk about the top and bottom numbers. The top number is called the negative code. The bottom number is called the positive code. And the top number has more influence on the person everywhere, in all periods of life. It has more influence on the profession, on the illnesses, and on the personal life, on everything. In my date of birth, in the purple column, at the top there is number 5. And at the bottom there is number 3. And this means that I have a family task for the fifth chakra, which in my percentage is 29%. In short, this is the task of being realized, self-realization, finding myself, making myself famous, making myself known. It could be show business, it could be the media, the fifth throat chakra, it could be singing, it could be blogging, anywhere where you can talk about your opinion, declare yourself, sing, that is where you will be heard. What exactly? A person already decides for himself what he's more inclined to, but in general, the fifth chakra is approximately about this. In the middle of my date of birth, between 5 and 3, I have the number 7. That is, my typology is 7th. The typology will be written in the text in this course later, but there will be no video lesson about it because there is also less practical use for typology, but it will be given in the notes in the text. And down I have the number 3 in the purple column. This means that I have an additional task according to the third chakra. which is 44% for me. But both of these numbers have an effect. Both the negative code and the positive code, we have to work on both. It's just the negative code has a little stronger effect, but we need to work on both tasks. Then there is a red column and the letter P is written. This means that this is a prenatal period, when your mother carried you, when she was pregnant with you, when she gave a birth to you. At that moment, some tasks were also passed on to you from her. Bukhtoyarov also says that this column also includes tasks from past lives, if they exist. Prenatal tasks can be considered as from past lives and from our ancestors, that is all this past experience. And here in the red column, I have in the code of negativity, which is at the top, is the number 8. Means the task is according to the number 8. Number 8, we can say, is not a chakra, it's our soul, and there will be more information about this in this course. And the second lower number in the code of positive code, I have a number 6, means that there I have a task for the 6th chakra, which I have 82%. And what do these numbers means? Explanation for every number. Almost the entire course of chakra psychology is focused on this, to explain these karmic tasks. These tasks that I have passed on my birth, during pregnancy, during the prenatal period, they affect the whole life. And by working on these tasks, we can improve our life. Next, you can see a green table. Here, the tasks are by periods, karmic tasks by periods of life. These are the tasks, karmic tasks, that we additionally have for each period of life. There are periods of approximately 10-12 years, but the very first period of a person's life, from 0 to 10-12 years, we look at this in the red prenatal period, that is what is during pregnancy, and plus from 0 to 10-12 years, we look specifically in the red column. And then the next period is green, that is, I have the numbers 1 and 8. This is the period from about 12 to 24 years, if we count by 12 years. So the first green column is the age from 12 to 24 years, or 10 to 20 if we count by 10 years. If we count by 10 years, then it's from 0 to 10 years. In the red column, I have 8 and 6. And then in the first green column, I have 1 and 8. I have these tasks from 10 to 12 years period of life. Then the next, the second green column, I have karmic tasks on the 6th and 4th chakras from 20 to 30 years old, my period of life. And next, I have karmic tasks on 3rd and 4th and the 1st chakras from 30 to 40 years. So now for this period of my life, right now I'm 33 years old, I have the additional tasks, karmic tasks by 3rd and 1st chakras. And then you look at the transcripts specifically on this course. That is, you just enter the date, look at the tasks, and just make the transcripts. We will later analyze all these transcripts. I will explain every number, what does it mean. We will analyze all the types of consultation that can be, in which areas to do, and how to make consultations for now. And for now, you can enter your dates of birth in the tables and look there, and everything else, all these transcripts will be on our course. Now, today's lesson is finished. On the topic of today's lesson was what is the table, what are the tasks, what are the karmic tasks, what are the chakras, what is the author of the person in his life, what is not, what is the chakra psychology. And if you have any questions, you can write me, you can message. If something is not clear, I will answer. And the rest we will discuss in our next lessons.